Welcome back, Officers of the Republic. It's your Coruscant Underworld Police Chief APGAINS here, and it's no secret that a lot of stuff has changed, not only in the past year, but also in the recent months in Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes. And I just want to talk about what those changes were and how I think they're going to impact the game. Now, obviously, a lot of you guys are going to think immediately, the nerfs or the Relic 9 or anything like that, and those aren't really the changes I'm talking about. I'm not talking about changes to characters' kits or to, what counters what in Grand Arena. I think the changes I want to actually go over right now are going to be a little bit more important and maybe something that you guys haven't really considered much when thinking about how the game has changed recently. And what I mean is, for the longest time, you and I and all of the other people, we've kind of viewed the game as everything you do, doing well in raids to get better gear, farming certain characters, unlocking galactic legends, now getting the Executor, which I think is a big reason why a lot of people have left the game, unfortunately. You guys have all viewed that kind of stuff from a lens of improving in Grand Arena, right? Everyone says Grand Arena is kind of the only game mode that matters in Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes. And what's happened is, nice, Kenobi. Maybe I should put an accuracy arrow on my Kenobi. Let me know in the comment section and drop a nice like for Kenobi if you have an accuracy arrow on your Kenobi. But, God, I hate Kenobi so much. What I was getting at is, everyone can admit that the reason they play this game is obviously Grand Arena. It's the best part of the game. It's, in most people's opinion, mine and, pretty much everyone else's, it's the entire game. The entire game is basically just the Grand Arena and how we can go about, participating in Grand Arena, being better in Grand Arena. A lot of my early subscribers came from, my farming guides. Of course, we have the best free-to-play farming guide that helps new players who are just getting into the game become better at Grand Arena and build their rosters accordingly. And unfortunately, what's happened is the game has moved away from that. And it's not been like a natural progression like, this, that, or the other has happened and players have realized that Grand Arena is not the best. Now, it's oftentimes the argument has been made that Grand Arena doesn't give you good rewards, therefore it shouldn't really be the most important game mode since this is, a hero collector game, and I guess just collecting the heroes in and of itself is supposed to be the main game. But I think we can all admit that that's kind of stupid, right? None of us are going to want to play this game just to, have a bunch of characters. Actually, that's not true. There are a lot of people, and a lot of people do have collector accounts, and collector accounts do make up actually a surprising stake, albeit a minority, but a pretty decent chunk of the spending community. A lot of players who spend lots of money spend it to just make sure that they have every character unlocked, just because that's what they care about. But the game, via the developers, because, with Relic 7s, Relic 8s, and especially now Relic 9s, what they're doing is they're limiting these upper resources, which is fine. I mean, I want slow progression in the game just as much as the next person so that the people who spend money can't have too much an advantage over me who doesn't spend any money. But what's happened is they've made these resources not progression. They've made them like keys to like a chest, and that chest being like the upper echelon characters. So now, unless you spend money, you can't really spend your R8s, your R9s, and oftentimes even R6s and 7s, unless, wow, I actually have never struggled this much in this territory war before. That's quite strange. I'm getting some pretty bad RNG. Who cares? The point being is they're kind of dictating what we do and don't spend our resources on. And that's not the end of the world, right? I kind of understand that they want to push us in the direction, but it's not the direction that they're pushing us in terms of, what character is to unlock and stuff like that. It's the direction they're pushing us in terms of actual gameplay. What I mean by that is they're pushing us in the direction of Grand Arena doesn't matter. What really matters is territory wars. And even though we can get some Relic 9s, a lot of people will be like, well, my guild's not getting Relic 9s, so I still don't care about territory war, and you shouldn't. But unfortunately, that's the direction that they want to push the game. They want to push it in the territory war direction. So, Grand Arena is, a lot of people are making the joke that Grand Arena is just going to become territory war practice. And I actually, was talking to a lot of big whales, a lot of important people in the community. And they're like, yeah, man, like Grand Arena just becomes practice for territory wars now, because I'm in that 380 million GP range and I need those resources to stay competitive. Therefore, all I'm doing is Grand Arena. I'm looking out for teams that I can use on defense, teams I can use on offense, because it's important for my guild to win those territory wars. And then they're saying, APGAINS, Doesn't mean I enjoy Territory Wars or that I'm enjoying Grand Arena more with having it be a practice for Territory Wars. It's just what I'm forced to do, unfortunately. And I agree, a lot of players, especially in the top end, are forced to use Grand Arena as a testing ground for Territory Wars. Not a good one like Marvel Strike Force has, where you can actually, fight your guildmates. And, a lot of players in my community also play Marvel Strike Force, so they've been reaching out to me and, talking to some other people. They're pretty comparable games, so a lot of the content creators, talk to each other and overlap a little bit. But I don't want Territory Wars to be the game mode that matters. I don't think it's nearly as fun as Grand Arena. I've been saying for a long time that I wish they'd add more game modes. I think them stepping away from the direction of raids and PvE events is actually really, really bad for the health of the game because, what do we have plenty of? Characters. What do we not have plenty of? Reason to log on to this game and use those characters. If I have no reason to use my characters, what incentive will I ever have to spend money? I mean, I already don't spend money, but even with Glock, I'm using him right here as my first Galactic Legend. I dropped $20 for some crystals so that I could, get him a little bit faster, get him before a GAC, so that when I went on stream, I had him and I was excited. And it was great, right? But unfortunately now, since Territory Wars is the most important thing, I'm farming Executor, but, I'm not really looking forward to Territory Wars. I still kind of mail it in. A lot of my guildmates kind of still mail it in. The matchmaking's, ridiculously broken. We got absolutely shafted in our second one so badly that it wasn't even, worth participating because we were just so outmatched that there was no possible... we were placing literal garbage on defense because we knew that they had such an advantage in GLs that we had to save literally everything for offense, or else we would have an incalculably hard time clearing even a couple of zones. And that's just unfortunate. I just don't think that's how the game should be. I don't think it should be not just the matchmaking sucking, which, has sucked forever and will probably continue to suck. I'm sure it's hard to code that kind of thing. I don't know how matchmaking works in these kind of games, so I'm not going to be the one to cast the first stone on them for that. But I just don't like the content direction that they've going. They've obviously decided that Territory Wars is a direction that they want to push the game, and I think that's terrible. I think that's terrible not only for them in terms of, the ability to make money. Yes, everyone saw the Arnold video where they made 200K in the first day. I mean, they're always going to be able to make money, but they're only going to make it from those certain people, and they're going to never be able to make the money. Come on, Glock, you absolutely suck. I only got 2 out of 4. Literally last phase, I got 4 out of 4 with this exact same team. Very strange how that works. But they're only ever going to be hard capped to those end game whales to spend money, and unfortunately what's going to happen, and especially has happened now, we're seeing a lot of these players actually are quitting the game. So that pool of people that they can make money from grows smaller and smaller and smaller and smaller and smaller because they keep pushing them away. They keep making it so that there's no reason to keep playing this game for those end game whales. And is there a reason to play this game for early game? Yeah, there's plenty of stuff to do. GAC is still fun. You don't got to worry about Territory Wars because that's, 5 million GP away from where you are at the beginning, so that's not the end of the world. The new players aren't the one who are getting shafted here. It's just the old players who, don't really have a reason to play, and that's why you're seeing all these content creators, big content creators who've been here for years, quitting over and over and over again. And you're running out. Now, how many content creators are left? None. I mean, obviously Arnold's never gonna leave. That's obvious. He's the SWGOH. So he has no incentive to leave, but all the other people, all your favorite smaller content creators are starting to quit. Even bigger content creators from back in the day are quitting because, they have no drive, no motivation to play this game anymore, nothing like that. I'm not going to quit because I still enjoy this game. I actually took 48 hours off of this game, and I think it was really good for me. I started playing this Lord of the Rings game with a lot of you guys, a lot of subscribers. We made a little faction. We've been having fun, experimenting with a new game and just, hanging out and having a good time. And I think since there's lots of content for us to play in that game, it's been a nice change of pace. So much so that even people decided that they liked the game so much that they even spent a couple of bucks. I mean, a couple of you guys who joined into my little guild thing over there, you guys started to spend a little bit of money because, you felt like you were having fun. There was plenty of content. Our guild was about to get into a phase where we are going to do a lot of PvP over the server with a couple of other factions. doing some dastardly deeds and stuff like that, and they decided that, the content was worth it, so they spent the money. And I think that's where Capital Games is going wrong, is they're focusing too much on the money and not enough on why we would have any incentive whatsoever to actually spend the money. And I think if they take a step back, realize that this is not going to be a good direction to take the game, and give us some content, not like a raid where we can finish it in a couple of days, but bring in some outside help, talk to the community, have some creative ideas. Territory Battles is relatively creative. I mean, it's like a long guild raid, and it's hard, so not a lot of people enjoy it, but it can be fun. I mean, I'm not having fun right now because I'm getting absolutely deleted, but I'll admit that Territory Battles is like kind of my favorite part of the game now, because it's kind of like the only thing that's challenging. It's good PvE. I enjoy raids. We're just simming all of them, so I can't really do that much, but they just need to be creative. They need to give us content, and they need to, be smarter, I guess. I'm going to get out of here. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you guys on Halloween for our Slave Leia cosplay live stream. Hope you guys all come there. Subscribe. I'm not going anywhere. Don't worry, guys. I love you. And I hope my mic is on, and I'll see you later.